Now, this next guest is very near and dear to my heart. Actually, we are joined by Andrea and Andrea of Rock and Rescue. Look at these cute little doggies.
They always steal the show, right? We might as well not even be here when it comes
my goodness.
whenever you bring pets on the show.
So, just maybe you can start by saying what Rock and Rescue is about.
Go ahead. Rock and Rescue is based on the LA Rock and Rescue, and they've given us the opportunity to bring this to Canada, and it is to bring awareness to pet adoption, spay neuter. It's all based on the sex, dogs, and rock and roll. Yeah, have a little fun while we're promoting rescue.
And it's also local bands, local talent supporting local rescues. So it really stays in the community and builds awareness and creates solidarity between rescues as well. We're not working as islands anymore. We're working in concert with each other to promote each other's causes. And some of us are very breed specific and some of us aren't. And so it's a great way to network in and amongst the rescue scene and the music scene as well.
Let's talk about rescues, Andrea. And you mentioned some statistics in the green room to us, which are just sad to hear. And talk about the importance of finding a dog at the rescue, because you can find a dog that really suits your family and yourself as an individual through a rescue.
Absolutely. And the process is pretty rigorous as well. I mean, the statistics, like you mentioned in Canada, 1 million animals, companion animals each year are euthanized because they don't make it out of shelters or they don't find refuge. And in any given shelter at any time, about 30 to 35% of the pets are actually purebreds. So, for people that are looking for purebred dogs, you don't necessarily have to go to a breeder. You can look at your local rescues and see what's available there. And the process for adoption is actually, there's a screening process, and we make sure that there's meet and greets. There's questionnaires. There's a home visit as well. Reference checks.
Very thorough reference checks with the veterinarian specifically.
Right.
Yep.
We want to make sure it's a win-win situation. A lot of these poor animals have been through the ringer, and we want to make sure that the next stop is their last one and a happy home. Yeah.
These dogs are so good.
Aren't they great?
I was telling Darren, my dogs are not that good. They haven't made a peep. So are all the dogs within your organization this good?
Some have challenges, and we do work to rehabilitate them. The rescues that are actually benefiting from Rock and Rescue this year, Valley Mastiff works solely with Mastiffs and Boxers, and they're a refuge or a sanctuary. They work with some of the harder cases. Sit With Me Dog Rescue deals directly with shelter dogs and getting them out of the high-kill shelters. So there are some that have more medical issues, more behavioral issues that need to be worked on. Valley Animal also takes in cats. They're one of the benefiting rescues as well. And then Ottawa Dog Rescue, where we're both from, we're a foster-based, non-breed specific, so we can take in medical cases, we can take in behavioral cases, and we work with local trainers and veterinarians to make sure that these guys get a second chance.
Well, let's share the stories of these beautiful dogs you brought along here. Let's start with this little guy in your arm, this sad story.
So this is little Gizmo. He's a 2-year-old purebred teacup poodle, and he was actually surrendered to Ottawa Dog Rescue because of mounting vet bills, and the family that had him just couldn't bear the veterinary costs. He has some allergies, and they were just, exasperated by it. So they were going to euthanize him, and we said, no. Let's see what we can do for this little guy. And he's phenomenal. He's a lover. He well behaved, and we'll get it under control. We have some amazing vets that we work with here in Ottawa, and we'll do what we can for this little guy.
Well, like a human, it's trial and error and finding out and narrowing it down to what the dog is allergic to, and there may be some natural ways that then you can help out too, right?
This big guy over here is Thomas.
Yeah.
And he is with Sit With Me Dog Rescue. Yeah. And he's from Gatineau, so he also speaks French.
Excellent.
He came in very, very emaciated, as you can see. He's still trying to put on a bit of weight. He's about 9 years old, super friendly. He's not quite up for adoption yet, as we're still getting his health issues under control.
He smells one of our crew.
Yeah, that's it.
Better watch it, Heather.
He's amazing. We met him about 6 weeks ago when he first
what a
came
great
in.
temperament.
He's wonderful.
What kind of situation did he come from?
He was a stray, and he was brought into the shelter, and because of his age and his body state really was, at great risk of being euthanized. So Sit With Me went in and actually saved this guy. And he's in wonderful foster care. His foster is here today and has lovingly brought him in and has nursed him back to health. So he's actually gained 10 pounds. So you can imagine how skinny he was.
And what about this guy?
This is Chewy.
Chewy.
This is Chewy. I think Chewy's asleep.
He might be. He's a pretty relaxed little guy.
And
He was a stray from the Montreal area and brought to a high-kill shelter. When we got him into care, he was matted to the skin, so he's just had a haircut, and he's a lovely little guy. He's about 3 or 4 years old, and he loves kids. So, all these guys were pretty much on death row, if you will. We bring them into the fold and try to get them adopted out, and that's why Rock and Rescue is really important, to get the word out to probably markets that don't even know about rescue yet, and especially to get the younger generation, if you will, being a little edgy. We're hoping to grab that attention and make sure that responsible pet ownership and that social conscience is bred, if you will, in the next generation.
And when is the event?
So the event is May 3rd at Greenfields in Barrhaven, and it starts, doors open at 6. The event starts at 7. We have 4 bands, and they are Little Miss Taken, Little Dog Blues Band, the Superlatives, and Water's Edge. And Water's Edge actually features our own veterinarian, Dr. Ian Cameron.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's been an amazing advocate for us, and he's worked on some of our difficult cases, and he's a great all-around guy, And we've had wonderful local support from sponsors too. The Home Guys are the Great Dane sponsor of the event, and Mortgage Brokers Ottawa, who were with us last year, are actually the Golden Retriever sponsor of this event. So we try to put a fun edge on it, but the support from the community has been wonderful.
I want to just before we run out of time, just mention, when you're picking a dog, unfortunately, I think for a lot of people, they look at a dog and go, oh, it's cute, and I just want to bring it home. What sort of things should people think about before they even get a dog in the first place?
Lifestyle is critical. If you don't have time to devote to caring for another living being, then you really shouldn't consider it. Dogs they can be pretty needy. They need companionship. They need to be cared for. And there's also a monetary component as well. You need to be able to vet your dogs and make sure that they're properly cared for. That's one of them. And also different breeds have different characteristics. You being a Jack Russell owner, you know that they can be pretty...
Lots of energy.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking for a chilled out little guy, maybe this kind of guy is right for you. But if you want a dog to run with, then you might look at a Border Collie or a Golden Retriever, or those mixes, shepherds and whatnot. And if you've got kids, you want to make sure that those dogs are good with kids as well. So
other animals.
Other animals as well. There are some dogs that have a high prey drive, right? They're herding dogs there or whatnot. So maybe not great to have other smaller animals in the house. So that's why it's important to educate yourself on the type of breed or the type of dog that would fit your lifestyle, and then make sure that you're pretty selective and ask the questions. The rescues are going to ask the questions for you, but you have to be honest and really take a deep look at what you can bear in your life.
Great advice, ladies. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you
Rock
for having
and
us.
Rescue Ottawa, ladies and gentlemen. Another reminder, Greenfields Pub on May the 3rd. Get out and support some great rescues. Don't go away, because we're back with Matt Barr from Camps Canada. We're going to be talking about your summer camp. Registration has begun. We'll tell you about some opportunities here in Ottawa right after this.